Hello, my name is Jack Watson. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, composer, and a music educator. If you stumbled across this video, you're either one of my students or you're somebody who's interested in learning or relearning how to make a saxophone soli. I'll try and be brief. This is a topic that greatly interests me, and as my family knows, I can talk quite a bit about things. What is a saxophone soli? A saxophone soli is something that shows up in all kinds of music, but when we talk about saxophone solis, or when I'm talking about saxophone solis, I mean them in the context of the jazz big band. The jazz big band has 5 saxophones, 2 altos, 2 tenors, 1 baritone. Sometimes you'll see a flute or a clarinet or a soprano saxophone thrown in there. That's for another video. Right now we're going to stick with the core 5. A soli is a group solo. Again, a concept that exists in different kinds of music, but when I'm talking about it, I'm referring to it in the jazz sense. It was described to me as the composer or the arranger's way of flexing their chops, which is why I recommend when you're writing out a soli, you start with a lick that you play that sits well on your instrument. Ideally, when you're writing the lead line for the soli, you want to do something that you can play on your instrument as sort of a test. So in this case, I picked the last 2-3-ish bars of "There Will Never Be Another You." This is a lick that I play over that all the time. It's a 3-6-2-5-1, it works very nicely. It fits very nicely within the chord changes. Okay, so let's get started with this. We're going to be going over 2 forms or 2 common ways to harmonize saxophone solis. We got block voicing, which I'll talk about in a second, and drop 2. So we'll start with block. So what block voicing means, or what you really do with block voicing, is you're going to take this alto 1 line, which is the lead line in this case, and you're going to throw it down in the bari sax and drop it down an octave. So they will have the same line together. I should mute that. There we go. Okay, so they have the same line together. Oh no. Alright. Yep, there we go. Alright. Now they have the same line. We'll listen to that in a minute. What I'm going to do is, from there, now I have these, they're reflected within an octave. I'm going to take the alto 1 line and drop it down a minor third. And the reason that I'm doing it within a minor third is, 1, I like the sound of minor thirds, but it keeps it in a closed voicing, right? The closer the better for block voicings, as close as you can get, while still being harmonic. So actually what I'm going to do here is we're going to create what's called a passing chord. Right, so if we're going to G minor 7, something you might do is a D7 flat 9. So we'll expand upon that, but I'm going to decide that as the chord that we're moving to when this comes up. So just adjust this here, make this within minor third, get everything looking right. There are probably easier ways to do this. However, I am a stickler for just kind of doing everything by hand. Not by hand, but doing everything in a way where you know how the sausage is made at each point in the process. So that's harmonized a minor third. That looks about right as far as accidentals go. So then we're going to take this and we're going to start on tenor 1. So tenor 1 is technically going to be, the first chord tone that we're going to hit is the 7th of this chord, which is an F. So technically it's going to be a whole step down from the alto 2 part, and you might be thinking, well, that doesn't sound very harmonic. And you're right, but the alto 2 part and the tenor 1 part are not meant to only be played together. They're meant to exist within the greater context of the saxophone soli. So just looking at it, you might be like, okay, well, that's a little weird. But when you hear it all together, it'll sound good. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm going to adjust this here so that we can do that. Yeah, there we go. And again, I'm going from what will be, yeah, that an E flat 6 to a, let's call it, we'll do, yeah, we'll do a fully diminished E flat chord to get to there, because it functions the same as a D7 flat 9, just there's no D. But if we had a bass here, right, playing over the changes, we would probably just write that in there as it playing D, so that it sounds, you know, like that chord. We have some more of that context. Yeah. Okay, A natural. This is all in concert key right now, the way I have it set up. We're going to adjust that. Now I know you might be like, but that's not the same intervallic relationship. But these inner voices, and they don't have to be. It's more about creating chord tones. And what I'd like to do for this beat 4 right here is on the downbeat make a B flat 7, and then the very next one we're going to do another chord, another fully diminished chord. Sorry, my brain kind of got lost there for a second, to bring us to the E flat major 6. So here we go. Okay. And the reason why it's an E flat major 6 instead of a major 7 chord is that a major 6 chord provides a lot less dissonance. There's a lot less hoops you have to jump through in that sense. Okay. So again, talking about passing chords, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create 2 fully diminished chords for us to move from what will be an E flat major 6 to an E flat major 6. It gives us some sense of movement, especially because in the lead line we have sort of a walk up to that 3, or the 3rd note of the chord. Okay, so I've got that. And now time for the tenor 2 part. Usually, historically, in most parts, the tenor 2 part is the wonkiest, being a tenor 2 player for most of my collegiate career. These are things that you figure out. But that's okay. It still serves a purpose. Right. So again, I want this downbeat on beat 4 of that other measure to be an E flat 6 chord. I know that's probably not the chord that it is, but that's just what I want it to be for right now. And then we go into a fully diminished E flat chord, right? Right there. So that's all set up. And now I just got to adjust some sharps and flats. There we go. The main goal here is to hit chord tones on the downbeats. You can have passing tones in between. Let's see. Nope. Okay. There we go. Yep. And sometimes I second guess myself, so you'll see me do the same thing twice. It's just another reason for you not to do that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Okay, cool. Alright. No, we didn't get it. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we got it. Alright, so, all together, we have this line right here. Let's take a listen. Let me unmute it. Okay. Beautiful. As you can see, this is the lead line. This is what the lead line sounds like. Sounds great. Yeah, so if you'll notice, between the two tenors in the block voicing format, because it's within an octave, right, you don't want to do any what we call part crossing, right? You kind of want things to stay. You don't want like the tenor 1 part to be bigger or go higher than the alto 2 part, or the tenor 2 part to go higher than the tenor 1 part. Again, it's not like you don't have to do that, but it's just good practice to keep, the alto 1 part the highest, and not try to have any crossover when you go down the list that you have right here. So, yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. Oh, yeah. Block voicing, because it's within an octave, right? Literally within an octave in this case, but it's considered closed, like closed voicings in here, because they exist within the octave. So, yeah, if you take a listen, you can kind of hear it. It's a little bit crunchier. Yeah, I think it sounds good though. All right, this is sort of a classic way of voicing things too. You'll see this in a lot of old big band charts. Okay, so with drop 2 voicing, the main difference here, of course, is it's in the name. But we're going to take the second voice, in this case, the alto 2 part, and copy and pasting is your friend here. Yeah, we're going to take the alto 2 part, and we're going to put it down in the bari sax, throw it down an octave. So, together, it'll sound like this. A little bit more distance, right, than just doing an octave apart. This makes it an open voicing, or the voicings will be open in this. This is great if you have some chord extensions. Right now I just have, 7 chords. But this is great if you want to have some chord extensions in there. You can kind of throw it more open and give it more of a darker feel, I think, the further that you go. So we're just going to take our two, no, that's the wrong one. We're going to take our 2 tenor parts, and we're going to put them right here. There we go. All right, and yeah, there we go. So this will sound like this. So we're essentially just moving this up. So this actually becomes, if this is the first voice, the lead line, instead of this being the second voice, it's actually the third voice. And this will be the 4th voice, and this will actually be the 5th voice. And we're going to copy this from the baritone part because it's a lot easier. All right, there we go. You can do, obviously you don't have to copy, have an octave copy on here all the time. Actually, if you have some extensions in the chords, this would probably be the best spot to put them in the tenor 2 part. I would probably, yeah, I mean, this would be the spot for me to put them at. Yeah, so let's hear how it sounds. A lot more open, there's a lot more space, a lot more opportunity to do things with that. Yeah, I think they both sound great though, they both have their purposes. Okay, well that'll be the video. If there's a couple key takeaways from this that you need to remember for when you're doing your own saxophone soli writing, or any soli writing in general, but for saxophone specifically, please try and use a line that you can play on your instrument for the lead line. And then from there, the difference between block voicing and your drop 2 voicing is that block voicing has the alto and the baritone playing the same lead line, just the baritone has it down an octave. and that gives it a closed feeling because it's within the octave. And drop 2 voicing takes the second voice and drops it down in the bari sax, giving it an open voicing because it's outside of an octave. The range is outside of an octave. Okay, yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of these things. I think I'm going to do, the next video I might do will be about either arranging for the brass in a big band or jazz combo horn setups. Yeah. If you'd like to comment your favorite saxophone soli, please do so. Mine is Thad Jones's 3-in-1. It's a kicker if you haven't heard it before. It's really very good. But yeah, take a listen to that. Follow me for more jazz videos or music education videos, and I'll see you later.